Relationship advice. Update. My fiance wants me to cut my father out of our lives. Original story. I, female 26, lost my biological father when I was 6 due to a car accident. He died when he was 35. 3 years later, my mother met and married my now stepfather, John. He always treated me like I'm his own daughter and adopted me when I was 11. I always call him dad or daddy because for me, he is my dad. He raised me. I am engaged to my fiancé Ashton, male 27. We both visited my parents last week. My father had shoulder pain, so I gave him a quick massage to relieve his pain. The whole evening, my fiancé acted really weird. He was distant and didn't speak much. Even mother asked if he was okay. When we drove home, I talked to him and asked if everything was fine. He told me he felt uncomfortable when I massaged my dad's shoulders and gave him a kiss on his cheek. He wanted me to cut my father out of our lives. I told him, in no way I would do this because he is my father. Ashton responded, "No, he isn't. Your father is dead." Then he added that John was a criminal and pedo for kissing and hugging, not in an inappropriate way, me when I was a child. I started crying and told him to stop the car. He didn't, and we drove home in silence. At home, I packed my stuff in a bag and wanted to leave, but he locked me up in our bedroom. Instantly, I called my best friend who lives 15 minutes away from me. She told me to wait for her. After 15 minutes, she texted me and told me that she was in our garden and got the ladder, which was also there. I climbed with the bag out of the window. As fast as we could, we sprinted to her car and drove away. She parked the car some houses away so my fiancé wouldn't notice. The next day, I had plenty of messages and missed calls from Ashton asking me where I was. I did not answer. Since then, I am staying at a friend's house. Ashton figured out where I was and tried talking to me, but my friend told him to leave. It really confused me why he knew where I was because he did not ask any of my other friends or parents. So me and my friend checked my phone and found a spy app. I have no idea what I should do. I really love Ashton, but he wants me to cut my father out of my life. What do I do? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Run like the wind. This is controlling behavior and will escalate. Do not marry this guy. He wants to isolate, track, and control you. Thank you for your advice. I am planning to get my stuff and leave when he's at work. Please don't go alone. He held you against your will once, he can do it again. Or he can get worse. If you don't have a few big dudes to take with you, you can call the non-emergency police number and ask them for an escort when you go. And then you'll have witnesses and documentation to show that you only took what was yours and didn't damage his property. Don't worry, my friend and her boyfriend will be with me. Please listen to us. What he has done is not only wrong, but potentially a serious crime. He has tried to force you to abandon your family, and by refusing to let you out of the car and by locking you in your room, he is essentially guilty of kidnapping. This man is dangerous, and if you stay with him, he will eventually succeed in cutting you off from your family, and will likely become more and more abusive once he does. Do not marry men that lock you in your rooms. I have never once had to leave my own house on a ladder. Please do not go back to him. Thank you for your advice. I will get my stuff tomorrow when he is at work and leave. And do not marry men who place tracking apps on you. First update. Thank you for your advice. I decided to leave Ashton. Tomorrow, I will get some of my stuff. Clothes and pictures of me and my bio dad because that's one of the only things I have of him when he is at work. My friend and her boyfriend will go with me. I will update tomorrow. Second update. Thank you for all the advice. Anyways, my friend and her boyfriend went to my house. We left my phone at their place, so if he can still track it down, he will think I am there. I thought he was at work because he wasn't home and I was able to get some of my stuff. When we were leaving, he suddenly arrived. Seems like he was not at work. He tried grabbing me and said he's sorry and wanted to talk, but I ignored him and wanted to go. After he again tried to grab me, my friend's boyfriend held him down and told him to stop. I got in the car, my friend and her boyfriend joined, and we drove away. I also went to buy a new phone and changed my number. I contacted my parents and they were shocked. My dad said he'll talk to one of his friends who is a lawyer and will go to the police to get a restraining order. And now for the full update. Hello, it's been 3 months since my last post and a lot of things happened. First of all, I want to thank everyone who gave me their advice and tried to help me out. Also, there have been people telling me that my story is fake. To you, I can only say I really don't care what you think. I don't gain anything from you believing me or not. In the end, I got a lot of help and I am thankful for it. So like I said, a lot of things happened. First of all, I told my parents about it. They were mad at Ashton. So mad that my dad wanted to go up to my house and beat him up right there on the spot, but he didn't. I told him not to because I didn't want him to get in any trouble. He called some of his friends and we drove to my house together. When we arrived, Ashton tried to touch me, or something. I don't really know what he was trying to do, but he was blocked by one of my dad's friends. While they were watching my ex, me and my dad got most of my stuff. I have no idea how, but Ashton was able to get away from my dad's friend and started throwing things at me and my father. He threw a picture frame at me. Ashton started attacking me and shouting at me. He trashed some of my furniture and destroyed more things. He insulted me and told me he would end me. He even tried to choke me, but was stopped by my dad, who by the way often goes to the gym and is pretty strong. So my dad pushed Ashton to the ground. His friends helped him and we were able to get the rest of my stuff. Of course, we called the police. They arrived and handcuffed him. He started shouting and insulting me again and tried to free himself, but it was clear that he had no chance. He told me I was just making the worst mistake of my life and that I am a witch for leaving him. Yeah, I pressed charges against him and also got a restraining order a bit later. It was pretty easy since I had a lot of witnesses, plus the messages he sent me. While Ashton was in jail, I could have easily changed the locks and thrown him out of the house, but I was, and still am, too scared to be alone in this house. The sad thing is that the house was actually mine. My biological father saved some money for me and with this money, I bought the house and most of the furniture. There was also only my name written on the papers. I decided to sell it since I never wanted to go there again. Anyways, after this incident, I stayed at my parents' house for a while. I was too scared to be alone and even started going to therapy. Ashton tried to contact me again and again and even came to my parents' home. He tried to break in at night, but my dad noticed him when the security alarm was triggered. So my dad called the cops and yeah, they took Ashton with them. Did I say I also sued him for destroying my furniture, which was pretty expensive? Ashton was also fired from his job, obviously, after they were notified by an anonymous person for what he did. These days, I am doing pretty good, even though the current global situation seems bad. I moved into a new apartment in another city and got a new job which also has better pay. I am still in therapy and I think I will not stop going there anytime soon. Thank you again, Reddit, for your advice. Now for some comments. Congratulations on cutting him out. I need to thank the people on Reddit for all the help. Damn. First, I want to say you're a really strong person, and it's amazing that you left him. I imagine he showed no sign of being that obsessive before, so the fact that an innocent massage unraveled his craziness is just mind-blowing. I'm just happy it happened before you were married and with children. Stay safe, you did the right thing. Thank you very much. I am lucky to have my supportive friends, family, and also Reddit. Congratulations on your new freedom. I really hope you managed to heal, but with your friends and family around you, I think the road will be a little easier. It sounds like your dad is amazing. For your new home, it might help you to get security cameras outside and an alarm inside. It'll help you have a peace of mind as you heal. Also, your comment about reporting him to his workplace was hilarious. Now for the last story. Update. I think my boyfriend knows who my stalker is. Original story. I'm female 24, currently in college and working part-time at a Starbucks, and I live with my boyfriend, 25. We've been together for 3 years. I've been working the late shift since the beginning of the summer, and back in July while I was walking home, I noticed that there was a male figure following me. He was wearing a dark gray hoodie, gray sweatpants, and black sneakers. I phoned my boyfriend and spoke to him while I walked and asked him to come meet me, but he told me I was just being paranoid. When I got near my front door, the guy turned around and walked back the way we came. I spoke to my boyfriend about it and he told me I'm just being paranoid. It's still in July, pretty bright out and people will be able to see someone following me. I thought maybe he was right. As for the following days, the person who followed me wasn't seen. But about 5 days later, while walking home after night shift, he appeared again wearing the exact same clothes. He walked on the opposite side of the street this time, and I even took a picture and sent it to my boyfriend, and he asked why I was just taking photos of people minding their own business. To prove a point, he offered to walk me home after the next shift, and of course the person wasn't there. A few weeks went by, and again, once I left work to walk home, the guy was behind me again. This time, I called my best friend, and she drove straight to me and picked me up. She too noticed the man. On and off, for the weeks following, the man would keep appearing, following me home and then disappearing when I get to my door. I reported it to the police with a detailed description of the person, and they pretty much said thanks. After this, the guy disappeared for over a month. In October, my boyfriend and I had an argument, and I moved into my friend's place for a few nights. He became incredibly controlling, demanding to see my phone, and I even caught him waiting until I fall asleep to go through my phone. At the beginning of this month, as I walked home, I noticed that 2 men were following me as I left work. At first, I didn't think anything of it, but it's around 20 minutes from my place to work, and they were behind me the entire way. I called my boyfriend, and he came and picked me up. I couldn't tell whether one of the men was the guy from back in the summer, as it was too dark. Now here's where I need help. 2 of my best friends were at the mall yesterday, November 24, and one of them took a picture and sent it to me. It was my boyfriend, and the man who was following me back in the summer sat in 5 guys together. I didn't believe it was really him, so they took another, and it was very clearly the 2 of them together. When he got home, he told me he had been fixing a friend's car. I didn't question him, and thankfully he didn't go through my phone or anything last night, not that I'm aware of. We've been together for 3 years. He's never physically hurt or touched me, and he has never made any meaningful threats. When we have argued in the past, he has, but he didn't mean it. What do? I am scared to confront him, and my friends are saying to go and stay at their place. I'm so conflicted. Any advice is welcome. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Run as fast and as far as you can. Please visit the website and use their resources if you need help getting out. Thank you for the link. He's having friends of his follow you to see if you're cheating or not. It's not really about her cheating. It's about scaring her and making her more reliant and dependent on the boyfriend, possibly to prevent a breakup. Get out. Freaking run. Worry about everything else later. Collect your important stuff and do not go back. And please don't let him find out. Don't even take anything if you can help it. Wear all the clothes you want like Joey and friends, and stuff pockets with jewelry or other important stuff because I'm sure he will have people watching you. Update. Thank you all so much for your support and advice. Thank you all for helping me come to my senses. I can't believe I have let myself get so deep into this. He left the house not long ago, and I plan to go to my friend's house, but there has been an SUV parked outside with its engine and lights on. I'm not sure if it's related, but I don't want to raise suspicion, so I've made a plan with my friend and I'm out of here at the next opportunity, be that later tonight or tomorrow morning. Thank you all so much. I will update you when I can. Sorry I can't reply to you all individually. I am deleting the Reddit app whenever he's around, so I don't really get a lot of time. I feel like I'm in jail. I'm scared to even go near the windows. I have no idea what I'm going to do about college or work. I'll have to cross that bridge later on. You're all wonderful people. And now for the latest update. I want to thank everybody who reached out to me to offer help. I moved out late on the night of that post, with the help of my friends and the local police department, who personally stood next to me as I packed up a few belongings and left. I wish I could say the problem was resolved. The SUV I mentioned in the update was swiftly moved on by the police officers. I completed a police report, the additional details from which were added to my original report from back in the summer. The police confirmed with me that I had a safe place to stay, and that was that. I have been staying with a trusted close friend for the past few days. I haven't left the house. While she has been working, I've remained in bed for large parts of the day. I am freaking out, and some of the comments left on my posts and messages sent to my inbox have driven my paranoia and anxiety through the roof. I realize now the reality of the situation I am in. This morning, December 2, My friend left the house to drive to work to find all of her tires had been slashed. It was naive of me to think that the problem wouldn't follow me to my friend's house, just a few blocks from where I lived with my boyfriend. And I'm even more frustrated with myself that I've now gotten my friend involved in this. I've been freaking out all day. My friend has remained home all day. And despite reporting this to the police, I don't think there is much they can do. I want to get out and leave. My brother has insisted on driving to pick me up, but I'm afraid that will just lead to more issues. I'm in no position financially to be able to get advice on this, and many of the well-known help groups I have reached out to, many of which were sent to me by Redditors, have been little to no help up to this point, offering generic advice that was incredibly patronizing. I've been told that a restraining order at this point is out of the question, as he personally has not stalked, actually attacked, or threatened me with violence. I'm running on fumes. I have no idea what to do. I feel like my only option is just to run away back home, leaving behind my friends to deal with this mess, leaving behind college, leaving behind my job. He wins. I really don't know what to do at this point. I've run out of options. Thank you all for your advice, messages, and support, truly. Now for some closing advice. Honestly, leaving to heal and figure out what you want your next steps to be isn't actually a terrible idea. Trying to go on like things are normal just isn't tenable. It's totally reasonable that you're burnt out and exhausted and need a break. Take a semester off and go from there. Can you get mental health help/counseling through your school while you're there? I just read your original post. You are so strong. You can do this. File another report. Put cameras on your friend's house. See if there is somewhere else you can stay. Turn location off on your phone and all your apps and change all of your passwords. Have a buddy system with your friends where you can send them your location whenever you are alone. There are apps that do this. Have a check-in system where once every few hours you check in with someone safe. Write down anything and everything that happens with dates and times. Seek professional advice. Maybe hire a private investigator to trail them and get you the evidence you need to get restraining orders. I think you should take your brother up on his offer. Take a semester off to recover. There's no shame in that. A lot more people do it than it seems. He only wins if you give him the attention he's seeking. Like if you contact him, for example. Just file any reports you can and leave it at that. Cut him out of your life. That's the first step to healing. You win by staying alive. Since you're the one he's fixated on, if you were to leave, I doubt it'd bother the friends anymore, that there'd be any mess anymore. As much as it stings to feel like you have to retreat, think of it this way. Some abusive, controlling guys can turn into the equivalent of rabid dogs. You may hate that you have to run away from it. That's so unfair that you're the one who has to retreat when you weren't doing anything wrong. But are you just going to hang around and wait for it to rip your leg off? You can transfer to another school. You can get another job. You don't get another life. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.